Manti, I guess we start over here. Evaluate what you thought you did out there and how well you were able to perform.
I felt good. I'm at home now. I'm in a place where I'm comfortable. I'm surrounded by people that I know. And I thought I did pretty good. I was very pleased with the way I performed, and very pleased with how we all performed as a whole. I think we all out there represented Notre Dame the way it should.
Essentially, a job interview, for lack of a better term. How did you approach it that way?
I think I kind of didn't think of it that way. I think when you start thinking of it, it adds pressure, pressure that you don't need at this time. So I just thought of it as an opportunity for me to go out there and run, show what I got, and show what I can do, and that's exactly what I did.
Manti over here, do you know what your times were in the 40?
I heard, 4.7s, low 4.7s. My fastest time at somebody clock was a 4.69, so I don't really know for sure what was printed, but that's what they showed me.
And how do you feel about that? I mean, is that what you expected?
I just expected me to run fast, run faster than I ran at the combine, and that's exactly what I did.
And did you train any differently in the interim between the combine and now?
Yeah, I think, I was pleased with the way I performed in the 5.10.5 and the L cone at the combine, so I didn't have to, work on that, during my training. So a lot of that time that I usually would dedicate to those two drills, I just put in overtime on the 40.
And can you talk a little bit about, right here, do you have any planned visits with NFL teams? And if so, what teams are you meeting with?
I know I have. I'm not really sure who I have. That's something I have to talk to my agent about. But I know I have a couple visits I got to go on.
Have you met with any? Have you had any interviews yet with any of them?
I had a lot at the combine. I met with 20 teams.
Can you tell us what they're asking about and how much of that goes back to what happened in January?
I mean, everybody wants to know. Everybody wants a brief. Some guys just wanted a brief minute what happened. Some guys went into a little bit more depth. But overall, it was a great opportunity, great experience. It went better than I expected. So it was good.
Is there one area they focus on when they ask about that, or what do you try to tell them when they ask you about it? What's your main objective in talking about it?
Well, just let's focus on football. I think that's it. That was my message. I'm a football player. I made mistakes, but nothing that affected my play on the football field.
Manti, the pro day is like a second chance opportunity. You can improve on stuff that you didn't do well at the combine. You feel like you did that today?
Yeah, I definitely did. I felt good, and it's kind of like it's just a grand finale kind of thing, with everybody there. I had guys around me that I spent the last 4 years with, that I was comfortable with, and it was more comfortable being out here and performing here at Notre Dame, and so I was very pleased with what happened. If you ask anybody who's going through this process, this is possibly the best day ever. It's a big burden off your shoulders, and it feels like it's your birthday, and so I'm very glad that it's over. Obviously, like you said, it's not a waiting game. You got to perform. This is when you got to kick it into overdrive, and so. But we're definitely pleased and very happy that this process is done.
How much of a dream come true will it just be when your name is called, though?
It's definitely a dream come true. I think when you start playing football, and at the age where you decide, man, I really want to do this for a living, that's the draft day is the day that you dream of, and obviously when that happens, I'm going to be very happy that I got to spend it with my family and. That we finally made it, and that's just the first step to a very, very long journey.
And Manti, just back home with Hawaii, how supportive has everyone been around you over the last couple of months with everything you've been through?
It's been amazing. The two places I call home has been nothing but support. Here in South Bend, the Notre Dame community, and back at home, and they've just been home. Guys have reached out to me and my family. Just been so supportive, and for me, I was just very blessed to see this guy next to me. You know, I'm internally indebted to this guy because that was possibly the hardest time of my life. I'm going through that, and I was lucky that I had one of my best friends with me. This guy checked up on me every day. Came over when I said, "Nah, I don't want nobody to talk to." He knocked the door down and said, "Hey, man, let's play some video games or something." So to have Ife there, man, it was a blessing in disguise for me, and just all the other guys down there, Eric Reed, just a whole bunch of good guys. So I'm very grateful for the guys that I had at Florida, the family I have here in Notre Dame, and obviously all my family members and my friends, and just the whole state of Hawaii for all their love and support.